Hey, I don't want to stay in Singapore. Bye bye. already. Welcome back to Mototalk episode 4. This episode is brought to you by AVL Direct. For audio-visual equipment, just like the high-quality setup we have here, go to avldirect.co. That's www.avldirect.co. They have very high-quality products. We use it for our podcast setup. If you think that the audio quality is not to your liking, it's not the equipment. It's Mark. It's Mark. Mark is the audio guy. Okay, thank you AVL Direct for sponsoring this episode. Hey everyone, today we have a fresh face for people who are sick of seeing all three of our faces every week. Every month. Today, Mark is not with us today. He's at the other corner. He's at the other corner doing audio. So we have Haren with us today. Haren is my friend. You remember how we met?
We met on Carousel because I was buying a touring bag from you. So
you didn't know that, right? I
didn't know that. Oh, you didn't know that. So basically, I met him doing an online deal, and we just stood at the bottom of the void deck talking for like 45 minutes about touring and stuff.
Wow!
I didn't expect that at all, because usually when you sell something on Carousel, right, then you go downstairs like 10 minutes max.
Over.
Yeah.
Pass the item, take the money, fuck off.
Yeah.
Then I end up speaking to him about bikes and all that for how long? 45 minutes.
I think around there. We were stuck there for quite a while.
How many years was that ago?
Wow, I think that must have been 2017.
Oh, so long already.
2017, 2018.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yes. It was
definitely before COVID.
Wait, before I start. Are you still using the product that he sold to you?
Yes. I used that bag.
Motorboy bag.
That motorboy bag, that $60 duffel bag, took me around India.
Oh, took you around India?
I only used that as my luggage.
Oh, okay.
It's so good. Yeah, we went to Taiwan on the 2-week trip, right? Everything went into the motorboy bag.
Same. I bought one because of that trip also.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's right.
Is that how you met Amos?
No.
No lah. Old story. This one old story.
Old story.
We will try to find the motorboy bag and put the link inside the description, because it's a really, really good bag.
Yeah.
You tour a bit of background. You tour a lot in India.
Yeah.
Why not Singapore?
I don't think I ever had a touring bike here, number one. Number two, I think for me, when I first started out, the main intention was to tour Ladakh. It really started with just one dream, which was to go to Ladakh on a nice bike. So I was deciding between the Royal Enfield Himalayan, which is like the staple there, and Triumph Tiger, which actually costs about 5 times as much as a as a Royal Enfield Himalayan in India.
5 times?
5 times difference, because imported big bike versus normal locally manufactured bike.
Oh, yeah, I just remembered.
Yeah, so the taxation is totally different. So, in the end, I pulled the plug. I went for a Triumph Tiger. No regrets. Took that up to Ladakh. Had a ball there. I think we'll talk more about that later. And then...
but wait. The Triumph Tiger, right? You said 5 times compared to Royal Enfield, right? How much is it initially?
Okay, so a Royal Enfield will cost about 2.5 to 300,000 rupees.
Okay.
Yeah. Triumph Tiger will cost around, correct me if I'm wrong, 1,500 or 1.5 million.
Wow.
That's how much?
Rupees.
I need my phone to calculate that.
Yeah, so basically it's around 6,000 Sing for Himalayan.
Oh, so cheap.
Forever, brand new Himalayan.
Hey, I don't want to stay in Singapore. Bye. already.
We just did
1,000.
6,000 bucks. 6,000 bucks, keep forever.
Then the Triumph?
The
5 times.
Cost 5 times, so around 30,000. Same as Singapore.
Around the same,
taxation, everything same as Singapore.
Interesting.
Forever lah.
That's the bonus.
So yeah, basically they want to protect the local market. So all these big bikes, luxury items, so called, are more expensive. Okay.
Generally, how different is it, touring in India compared to, touring the usual stuff that me and Winston does?
Yeah.
To Singapore to Malaysia to Thailand, that kind of.
Okay.
What's the main difference?
Wow, huge difference. I think the main thing is going to be the quality of road and the quality of traffic.
Is it better or worse?
There is... so every time before I get on my bike, I pretty much psych myself up for war.
Oh, that bad?
I'm going to war
Why?
today. Usually, it's not that bad once you're in the countryside. basically your alert level definitely is going to be much higher in India. Your ability to anticipate traffic reactions, everything needs to be pretty good lah. That's why I'll never suggest India as a first destination for inexperienced tourer or inexperienced rider. You're gonna have animals, you're gonna have camel, donkey, dog, cat.
So it's more the animals than
the elephant,
than the drivers themselves.
I would say first thing we talk about is the animals because they are completely unpredictable. You don't know what's gonna come out of where.
Are the drivers there reckless or?
Then it comes to the drivers.
Oh,
Both lah. Because is it because the roads there are not like, you know, like how our highway is or north-south highway is like at least a bit protected by.
it's fenced up lah in a way.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So India doesn't have a concept of, you know, in other countries, if you have a pasture to graze your cows or whatever, it'll be a fenced-off pasture. Then you see all the cows
Yeah,
inside, all the sheep inside.
Yeah.
India doesn't have that culture. Basically, they have free roaming cows, free roaming goats because the villagers will bring out all their livestock to go and graze lah. So they don't understand this concept of pastures. So all like at rush hour, so you can go to a village and there will actually be a morning rush hour and evening rush hour. The rush hour is not traffic in the sense of mechanical traffic.
Really?
It's animal traffic
They are crossing the road.
that will be using the road to move.
Oh, you mean the farmers are using the road to move?
Yes, to move their cows and their goats and their sheep.
How many more times do you think you will see an animal crossing in the road? Like the chances of seeing an animal crossing the road compared to Singapore, how many times more?
How many times more? Okay, I give you an example. Okay, say usually what they will do,
Like how common?
or like I don't know, 200 times more.
Wow.
I don't know. In Singapore, you hardly see.
Yeah,
animals.
the other day I was riding, right, I was just thinking of my past experience where I rode a bike, then I saw this cat running out onto the road.
Yeah,
Then nearly crashed out because the worst thing about animals, right, is that they run out. Then you really cannot predict whether they're going to
Correct.
continue or they're going to stop.
correct.
So what happened was the cat saw me, paused, and then I jammed my brake. Then I see, he paused already. I throttle, then the cat see
ran.
me. I think the cat saw me braking or what. I think, okay, can run already. Then run again. then wow, kadang gabo, I don't know what to do. Nearly crashed. Yeah. So I was wondering, like, I don't know why, but
Okay.
I was riding. Then I was just thinking, random thought like, is there gonna be another cat coming out? No lah, actually not so common lah. Then now that I heard what you said, right, it's like how to ride in that kind of places. Like anytime you see a
Still
cow
small.
come out,
Yes.
cat come out.
When I was going home one day, right, there was actually 2 deers that is out from the zoo
Is it?
at the junction that I
Huh?
go home.
Oh my-
2 deers. Then it's
Okay.
like, I'm sorry, I saw the 2 deers on the road, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I better slow down.
Oh dear.
The deer was actually crossing the road, and then there's oncoming van. The van actually stopped, and then once the deer stopped in the middle of the road, right, the van picked up, the deer ran to the path of the van and knocked.
Oh my god.
So the van knocked the deer, but it was a slow speed. So I would think that the van is going about 20 to 30 kilometers. Then after that, the deer then
Means what?
means he fall lah. the deer got knocked by the van.
Okay.
Then after that, it
Tumbled around.
tumbled around, and then after it pick up and continue walk again. And then remember the time you were accelerating out the highway, the wild boar
When?
down here.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
wild boar?
yeah, wild boar. I think I always kena leh. When I went to Mei Hong Song, also same thing. Dog run out.
And you hit it.
No, same thing lah. I stop. He want to stop. Then he want to go. I want to go. Then but so far never hit any animal.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Thank
one
God.
big cow experience I had was at Trigano.
Okay.
In the middle of night, raining, turning a bend, and one thing we saw a big patch with a cow looking at me.
Oh dear.
Didn't even move. The cow didn't even bother.
What? The cow was in the middle.
In the middle of the road, black cows some more.
Oh, they're at night.
At night, raining.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that was our experience with the animals.
Yeah, so I actually also had another. So why I bring animals up as the number one point, right, is that most of the accidents I have heard of with my riding network in India has been incidents with animals. Shout out to 2 of my friends. One of them hit into a dog at 120 kilometers per hour.
Wow.
Dog was totaled. Bike was almost totaled. He was safe because he was wearing full riding gear. But he suffered a dislocated
One
shoulder.
bike he was
Triumph
riding.
Tiger 800. That was pretty bad. Another friend of mine, we did a touring trip together. We separated. He went his own way back to Delhi. I was at my hometown, so I stayed back. That night, he calls me up. He's like, Haren, I've crashed. I'm like, what happened? It's like, I hit into a buffalo.
What?
crossing the road at night.
Hello.
Yeah.
Heavier than a bike.
At night.
At night. So black color buffalo cannot.
GG.
GG. And then personally, my worst experience was when I was undertaking. So I was actually overtaking, but from the left side, I was undertaking a truck. And as I undertook the truck suddenly slammed the brakes. And I realized there was a buffalo running from right to left across the road. Sorry, correct. Not a buffalo, a full-sized bull.
Whoa.
Running across the road at top speed, like galloping across the road. And I very nearly missed him by inches, really. And I was also doing around 120, 130 miles per hour. So that would have been like game over for me and everyone else involved. So that's why I would put animals as the number one most unpredictable and worst thing to look out for if you ever go.
So basically, don't speed there. What's the speed limit of the roads there?
Supposed to be 80, but no one is looking, and the concept of a speed camera is non-existent.
How what is the cruising speed? Like, for North-South Highway, we usually go like 140, 160, right?
On average.
Yeah.
I would not recommend a cruising speed of faster than 110. That being said,
fair.
It's really down to your judgment. There's no one who's going to come and control your speed in India.
So this is the first advice that you will actually give anybody who wants to fly and ride there is to not speed because of the unpredictable situation of animals crossing.
Correct. Keep an eyes out, 2 eyes, 3 eyes out for animals. And if you see animals like in Amos' case, you stop, brake. I will always just stop all the way.
Now, Now looking back, I think I'll just stop. I just stop.
You see an animal, just hit the brakes first.
You cannot trust them, You really trust them, You see, you stop. Okay, now I go.
Any animals attacking the vehicles?
Oh, yes.
So you stop and the bull look at you and he charges against you. There is
Yes.
How do you escape that?
So that was quite interesting. That was in Goa. It was a very small village road, a very kind of cramped village road. And I was riding my Tiger along, and I see this bull giving me the eyes, You can read animals, right? So it's kind of giving you that face down look, pointing the horns at you. And I was like, okay, boy, calm it down. And the next thing I know, this guy is running at me.
By the way,
guy's running.
If you want to say fuck, you can say fuck.
Nice.
No problem.
So this fucker's running at me. And I just narrowly escaped and I floor it. And it was hilarious. I think the villagers really enjoyed watching that scene. So here goes.
So the animal is charging towards you.
Yeah, but it was really close to me already. So I dodged him and I took off and he started running after me with his whole herd following behind me.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then I think all the villagers were around there, so they were having a good time watching a big bike being chased by.
But you were on the 800, right?
Yeah.
And 800 is fast. If you're on a Himalayan,
no, but it's village road. So it's as much about the maneuverability as it is the speed.
Okay.
So yeah, full rally mode on.
Doesn't it spoil the fun? Does it scare you? Chances of a very unpredictable animal appearing out of nowhere, that kind of thing.
It's a challenge. You always got to keep it on the back of your mind, but it's just part and parcel of riding there.
Does it change your route, when you're planning for your trips and all that? Maybe take the small road so you don't have to go so fast. How we ride on North-South Highway? Yeah. We're always going faster and faster because nothing to see.
Correct.
Nothing to do. Yeah, so how me and Mark that time we took the B roads all the way to KL because we can take our own sweet time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it change how you?
Not really. So what I would do is there's definitely some very nice highways in India as well, especially these days. Some of the highways intercity highways are very nice, and you can very easily tell when there are no farms nearby, no villages nearby.
Oh.
But the moment you start to see farms, villages, and you just start to glance at animals here and there, then I start to slow down the speed a lot. So it's a lot about that kind of judgment. Yeah. So I'm talking right now about pan-India, if you are riding across India, how I would judge what speed to go at. So for example, very nice highways running between, Bangalore and Bombay, for example. Beautiful highway. You must pay toll. Even a motorbike must pay toll, which is unheard of. It's the only time I've ever paid toll on a motorbike. and I maintain like maybe 140, 150 going on that highway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Totally nothing. Totally no farms or anything.
Oh, you make me so interested to actually see what you were describing. Like later on, I'll go and like Google and see all the.
Yeah.
Same.
So it's very arid, very not that much vegetation. So your sideway is very clear. Like your line of sights are very long. So there you can speed up. The moment you start to see green pastures, farms, little villages, then you know, okay, now it's time to slow down. Maintain about 100, 110, nothing more than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a very big community of tourists in India?
Okay, honestly, most bike enthusiasts in India are touring bike enthusiasts. Yeah.
What about sports?
Sports bike, yes, but mainly just Sunday riding. Although India is such a huge country, there are only 2 real racetracks.
Oh.
And being a sport bike, also the best you would be able to do if you don't go to the track, roads aren't that great. So most people would just take their bike out, find the nearest like nice stretch of intercity highway, just blast down one way, have breakfast and blast back. Yeah, that's
A bit sad. A bit sad for sports lovers.
Correct. So, but that being said, although the roads are so messed up in India, right, off-roading is not that big there yet.
Of course, the country is so big.
Yeah.
Off-roading should be very fun. A lot of places to go, right?
Correct. There's a lot of
But it's not big yet.
off-road riding is now becoming more popular.
Oh, you mean it wasn't popular last time?
Yes.
Oh, it was adventure touring that was popular.
Just touring. I wouldn't
Or just
call it
touring.
adventure touring.
Or even sports touring, like they have those FJR, this kind.
Mostly you will see. So Indians aren't very particular about what kind of bike they use for touring, and that's what I find really interesting. So you'll see people get out on their bullet. You'll see people get out on their adventure bike. You'll see people get out on their sports bike. People won't see, I'm not riding a touring bike, so maybe I won't go touring.
Oh.
You'll see street triples thousands of kilometers away from home. You'll see Hayabusas thousands of kilometers from home.
Do they use small bikes for touring?
Yeah.
Oh, any bikes?
Literally any bike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The culture is very different.
Yes. So, in India, of course, every state has its own license plate. So, we look at the license plate to see how
One look
far.
can tell already.
Correct. You can see like, whoa, this guy has come, he's from Bombay, but he's in Tamil Nadu or whatever. That's at least, 5,000 kilometers away.
It's like, say, Singapore bike plate in
Correct.
Thailand. Wow.
Correct. Exactly the same. So like, wow, this guy's made it all the way here on his, whatever, R1 or whatever. So yeah, people there really just love riding. So they'll just jump on their bike and just go.
Okay. Interesting. What about those bike workshops? Is it very easily accessible there? Yeah, in case if you break down, sort of about tow trucks and all this, like help. Is it easily accessible?
Okay,
Do you get help easily?
There, I would say for a big bike, highly recommend roadside assistance. So if you can, try to organize a roadside assistance.
Organize means what?
So for example, me, I own my Triumph Tiger in India, right? So I subscribe to the roadside assistance. If you're driving your bike into India, you're renting a bike there, also just double check if there's roadside assistance to help you out.
Meaning as in subscribe from a website? So
From the dealer lah.
So it's like insurance?
No lah. Roadside assistance means like if you break down, you can call, then the van will come and you up.
And how does it take very long or?
Usually India means they will take about maybe an overnight to show up, depending on how far away you are from the city lah.
About the same if it's in Malaysia or in Thailand.
Correct.
But in different cities, different states, you have like all your big bikes, big bike workshops and all that lah.
Yes, so usually in the big cities, you will be able to find, roadside assist. You'll be able to find a big bike workshop. That being said, usually the smaller, chapalang little sheds and huts you find, which will repair most of the small bikes in the village, are quite. Usually they will not really want to work on your bike. I'll give you one example. For example, on the day when I was supposed to leave for Ladakh, I packed and everything, okay? And my tire was flat. Like in the morning, I was just about to leave, take the bike off the center stand, boom, tire is flat. I'm like, oh crap, okay, looks like I have to get this fixed. I bring it down to the nearby puncture guy. Sorry bro, we don't do this kind of work here. I was like, oh, okay, what if I take out the tire wheel for you? No, sorry, we don't.
Got half price.
Serious?
So then I was like, okay. Then I went to petrol pump. At the petrol pump, they also have a little shed where the guy there will do like basic tire repair lah. So I'm like, bro, can you do this for me? I'm sorry, I can't. It's like, please, bro. Like, I really need to leave for Ladakh today. And the guy very reluctantly said, okay, if you take out the wheel, I will do the rest of the repair for you.
But you got a flat because of what? A nail in the tire?
No, so in the end, it was because I was itchy finger and I took out the valve core, and then when I put it back, I didn't tighten it. So after taking out the wheel, after taking out the tube, after checking the tube, there was totally no puncture in the tube at all. The tube was perfectly fine. He put everything back together. It was only the valve core that needed to be tightened.
Oh, the valve needle.
Itchy hand.
I was itchy finger. I opened it to release air the previous day just to test whether my tire lever can work or not. I got more than I bargained for. I got more practice than I wanted lah.
So you still bring your own tools
Yes.
So in case like all these small shops, they don't have the tool, you have the skill and the tools to actually do it yourself.
Correct.
Okay.
So I think anyone, for me lah, I'm a hands-on guy. I would definitely practice a little bit of these simple repairs lah. Subsequently, I made my rear tire tubeless, so then we solved that issue. Yeah, I'll text my rear tire, and then I've only got one puncture ever, but I just solved it in like 30 seconds because it was tubeless. I just put a plug in it. Yeah. And end of story.
I think if you go on these long distance trips, at least a little bit of knowledge on how to, repair all the small stuff.
Basic simple stuff.
Basic things will be very helpful.
Yeah.
So stay tuned to 333's latest series on touring preparation.
Can.
Which will be on next week. Yeah, next week.
And then also I want to tell people that are watching this, you want to go touring, can. You want to have fun, can. But don't hand itchy like Haren like that. Go and turn the thing, then forget turn back. How long were you down for? That
Down for an hour and a half, dude.
Not so bad.
Oh, my cake here.
Imagine you were somewhere in the middle of nowhere, then you waited for roadside assistance, wait for one day, then next day tow back already, right? Then you say, hey bro, your valve, your valve never tightened properly. Then you'll be like, shit.
Yeah, be prepared. Really, so even that time when I got the puncture, I was in the middle of nowhere. Actually, truth be told, I was in the middle of nowhere, but this nowhere was an off-road training school, India's foremost off-road training school, Big Rock Dirt Park. And that day, I had a big old nail in the tire. And luckily, I had a puncture repair kit. I quickly plugged it. If not, I would have had to somehow find someone to do it. I probably would have had to leave the course that I paid for early. So my whole day would have been ruined. And then on top of that, I was about 150 kilometers out of Bangalore, which is about 2+ hours ride. So my whole day would have been ruined really. And I only had that one day to do that course.
Was that the worst? Was that the worst of your, the worst incident of your ride in India?
Worst incident in terms of bike kind of breakdown? Yes. Yes. In terms of bike breakdown,
good enough.
That's my worst.
Not so bad.
Yeah. Besides that, everything went very smoothly. Yes. Touch wood.
But then what about the makan?
Makan.
Because I hear stories for Singaporeans who travel to India first time, right? They actually cannot adapt to the food and water there.
Correct. You might have heard Delhi belly lah.
Don't know lah.
Bombay backside lah.
I don't know.
What is that?
I don't know. I think I just made that one up.
Yeah. So this is another curious thing. Because you were born in India, right?
No.
You were born here.
I'm born here.
I raised up.
I kind of raised up there until primary school.
So you're accustomed to the food there.
Actually, I hadn't had a taste of street food in India. I always ate at home. Always ate at home because my Indian dad always insisted that street food was basically gonna kill me.
So you have not tried once?
No. Then one day, itchy finger. Me and my brother went to go and try.
You got a lot of itchy fingers.
Yeah, I know. I got a lot of itchy fingers. That's why I toured around the whole of India. It's not itchy finger already. Itchy backside.
Itchy backside, not itchy finger already.
So then one day I went to try. Honestly, if you try and you know where to go and it's a good spot, right? I tell you, it's worth the diarrhea.
Wait, so you want diarrhea?
No, okay. Sometimes, honestly, when you first start, you are gonna get lah.
Oh shit.
It's about your stomach getting used to it. Some people, okay, I've brought many friends to India before. It's really 50-50. I have friends who totally will go like, oh no, I have a very weak constitution. I better not try all this kind of food, blah, blah, blah. Then they see the look on everyone's faces when they're sampling the food. And they're just like, okay, try. And then they love it. And on top of that, nothing happens to them.
Oh.
And then they have other friends who are like, yeah, I eaten in Thailand before, eaten in China before, the street food, nothing happened to me. I got iron stomach, and they go there and then all hell breaks loose lah. You know, they go, full shuttle launch at the toilet bowl lah. So it's really 50-50. It's really a case of, in the end, it's really what your stomach is used to lah. And
I mean, we wouldn't know unless we try, right?
Only one way to find out.
Let's go.
The charcoal pills. That's it. Yeah. The great thing about India, number one, is you don't need a prescription literally for any medicine you want to buy.
At any pharmacy.
At any pharmacy.
Oh,
show up.
You don't have
say
to.
the name.
You don't have to see a doctor to get any medicine.
Nope.
Why is that the best thing?
So buy all the medicine you need lah, your Ridol, your charcoal pills, your loperamide, all your everything you need, you just go and buy first. In fact, most of you all probably don't know, but most of the medicine you eat in Singapore as well is manufactured in India.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Most of it is manufactured in India.
Most of your normal prescription medicine is all manufactured in India. So it's very
interesting.
Cheap. Just go there, buy all the medication from the chemist. That's what they call the pharmacies in India. Just load up, and if anything happens, you know.
So basically, there isn't any like general practitioner like in Singapore that is easily accessible.
Have.
Oh, still have also.
Have, but you don't have to go to it.
Okay.
How they cut the middleman out of it. Easy. So usually food situation in India when I'm touring, I kind of, I guess, slowly acclimatize myself to street food. And then I will just stop literally anywhere I find something to eat, literally.
What about the petrol kiosk, or is there like is there 7-Eleven there?
No, the petrol kiosks are just petrol kiosks.
No,
they don't serve, or they don't sell anything but petrol.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, something
Very different, huh?
very different. Because when we go Taiwan, wow, we love the 7-Eleven at
is it?
petrol kiosk. We got a lot of nice food there, remember?
Yeah, I think it's become a norm already, for 7-Eleven or something to be at the station.
Because we never go India, so we don't know. But see, like Malaysia, Thailand, any petrol kiosk, there is a
Convenience store.
Convenience store, and so it's very different, very different culture.
So petrol kiosk, India, interestingly, when you show up at a petrol kiosk, they weren't in any other country you pump the petrol yourself, then you go in and pay, right? Yeah, in India you don't need to do that. There's always a guy manning the one of the machines which will be specifically for motorbike. So all the motorbike will queue down there, and you open the tank and he will fill up the tank for you.
Why?
So more convenient.
Not bad, eh?
Where got convenient? Imagine if we're in a rush hour, you are queuing with the rest of the people just to pump petrol.
No, usually rush hour means the cars also will be queuing, ma. So the
because like in Malaysia, there are some places there's actually a queue for a motorcycle to pump, like a pump that's specifically for motorcycle, and the rest are cars. So when I reach there, I don't queue. I just go to the cars there. And
Which one?
you all never, Mark, have you kena before? You kena before, right? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I boch up, I go into the car.
Yeah, I also boch up. I don't follow the queue for the bikes. I just go to the car there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually it's faster.
Okay, wait.
Faster
So
for somebody.
It's faster to queue because what happens is the guy who is pumping your petrol also is the cashier.
Oh.
Wait,
So
but
he will,
that kiosk is for bikes only.
it's actually a normal pump. It's just that the guy is standing there, and it's kind of understood that is the bike one.
Oh, so the one with the guy standing there is the bike one.
Correct.
Then
So
the cars one, they have to pump
No,
themselves.
the cars will also, there'll be a guy who will walk over between them lah.
Or walk in between the few bikes.
The guy's always standing there.
Or for the bike one, the guy is always there.
Almost always standing there. You go
interesting.
straight over, he will reset the thing, he will pump for you, and usually in one hand he's holding the pump gun, and in the other hand he's holding a wad of cash. So he pump for you, then you straight away gain cash, then he will give you change. Then he will also hold the credit card machine if you pay by credit card. So everything is there. So you don't have to go into the shop or whatever.
And are the petrol kiosks 24 hours?
Some.
Like in the bigger cities.
Usually they will be 24 hours, but usually in the smaller village, they will not be 24 hours.
So how would they know if they, let's say, would the Google map shows that it is not 24 hours?
No.
Shit. So how I mean, if let's say I were to go there, how would I know whether, how do I plan my pumping station?
Don't ride at night. Yeah.
Don't ride at night.
Don't ride past the...
What is the cutoff time? Like
Dangerous, eh?
Yeah, lah.
I would say maybe post-dinner lah.
Post-dinner.
Yeah.
Sundown.
Sundown in the smaller village. Along the main highway, mostly they're 24 hours.
Okay.
Yes. So keep full tanks lah. Full tanks wherever.
I'm very excited, eh?
Actually, not bad.
I want to...
Not bad,
I really want to plan for a trip to India and go and try.
But the only thing that I worry is the food.
I'm not worried about the food. I worry about the animals.
I mean, besides animals, the own diarrhea stomach, if you lethargic, how you continue riding?
Bo pian lor, you try lor.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I worry about the food.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me more about your experiences on your trips. Anyone that really stood out, like the best trip ever?
Best trip ever definitely would be Ladakh.
Where is Ladakh?
Search the Google map.
So Ladakh is this Shangri-La. It's really like a mecca for bikers in India, and actually not only in India, around the world. I think a lot of Singaporeans go there. A lot of the overland travelers also make it a point to go up there. It is a city. Leh is the capital of this region of India called Ladakh. It is in the higher Himalayas, and basically you have to go out of Delhi straight north into Manali. Then you cross about 4 mountain passes.
You know, when you're telling me, I have no idea where the places are.
Bro. See?
You imagine Tibet.
Very nice.
God,
the photos.
What? I thought this is Tibet. No, it's not. It's in India.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my God.
It's in India.
It's actually very nice.
Wow, it is very, very nice. How do you spell the place again?
Ladakh.
Okay.
Ladakh. And the city,
Wow,
so like
very
you
nice.
look at that monastery.
Excited, man. Can we go already? Is there VTL already?
I think so.
29th of November it opens.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
Hey, actually not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, lor,
You can consider.
So the actual season for Ladakh is mid-May until usually September, October.
The best time to go, mid-May.
Not the best time. Ideally the only time to go.
Why?
So because the Leh-Manali highway, so Leh is the capital of Ladakh. Manali is like kind of the last city before you must start crossing mountains. That highway gets so snowed in from kind of mid-October until May that it's impassable.
Snow.
Wow. Yeah, because you're in the upper Himalayas. Leh itself is at 3,000 meters.
It's already at 3,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's quite high.
Yeah. Manali is at around 2,000 plus.
Mark like it.
He likes altitude. And then you have to cross various mountain passes up to around 4,000, almost 5,000 meter.
So do you need
elevation.
a high altitude?
Yes, you should take Diamox.
How high it was what? Her one son
I cannot remember.
3,000 plus only, right?
Yeah. What was the highest that you said 4,000 plus, right?
That's on the way to Ladakh. The highest motorable road in the world is just outside Leh. It's another mountain pass called Kardungla. And Kardungla is at almost 5.5 meters, 5.5 kilometers in elevation. So it's actually higher than Everest Base Camp.
Wow.
Yes.
Sick.
So,
Yeah, man.
pretty sick.
It's
pretty sick. Yeah.
So you did eat that altitude medicine?
Yes, I took Diamox the whole way. I mean, from the day I started to enter the Himalayas.
Did you try not to take? Have you tried not taking?
No.
What will happen if you don't take?
You might get
Just sick lah.
sickness lah.
Yeah, altitude sickness.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard of people who have passed away, not motorcyclists, but climbers who have gone to Leh from Singapore, gone to Leh and actually passed on because of acute mountain sickness lah.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, so I wouldn't risk it lah.
Oh,
Especially for us island life people.
yeah.
Yeah, better
Don't play.
Don't play.
Yeah,
Yes.
must take precaution.
But why I would say it was the best ride ever was simply number one, it was a challenge to myself. At that point, I was very new to biking or touring in general. It was actually my first tour ever.
How many years of experience of riding actually you had before you started this first tour?
I had my license in 2014, but I really rode on and off.
So you didn't had a lot of experience and you attempted this very challenging route already.
Yes, correct.
Wow.
And solo. So I wasn't
Wow.
going with anyone. I went up there alone.
Wow.
Yeah. There I met some people, and of course the main thing is you meet a lot of people along the way. You will meet a lot of riders, solo and groups along the way. I packed everything. I was super kiasu. I packed lots of spares. I packed the whole toolbox. I packed tools. I packed extra petrol. I packed water. Yeah, practically I brought my house. It's like I was moving house in my Tiger. I had both panniers full and I still had a 50-liter backpack strapped to my bike. So I was very heavy. I was going very heavy. I think the most interesting thing that I found out is, so between Leh and after the first mountain pass, Rotang is a span of around 350 something kilometers where there's no petrol pump.
Huh?
Three what?
350 something kilometers, no petrol pump.
Okay, most
You
of
need
the
a
adventure-
GSA.
Yeah. A GSA can, if you go at 100, a GSA can bring you up to 500.
Depending on what bike you have, you may or may not decide to carry petrol, considering also the fact that a lot of the Leh Manali highway is climbing up and down and up and down.
That means even our bike wouldn't be able to make it also.
But the interesting thing is, right, at high altitude, right, the engine adjusts, the fuel injection system adjusts and starts to use less fuel because there's less oxygen at high altitude.
Does it mean less air, less fuel, you got less power?
Correct, less power. So a Triumph Tiger starts to feel like a Himalayan.
Like
a
noticeable.
That bad,
noticeably less power.
Wow.
At the same time, your fuel efficiency becomes super high. So from 20 kilometers per liter or 22, which is I guess what the average you might get for 800cc bike, it goes up to like 27, 28 kilometers per liter.
Okay.
Not bad, eh?
Okay.
So I carried all this fuel, 10 liters of it spare, which I didn't use. So I
Huh? You mean, wait, that means you cover the whole 300 plus clicks.
Yes.
Without refueling.
without needing to fuel up.
Ooh.
Actually, without needing. I mean, I had carried the fuel. So
What was the
enough anyway.
temperature there?
I went there in mid-July, August.
It's supposed to be summer, right?
It is yes.
And what was the
The
temperature?
tail end of summer. During the day, actually, because of the elevation and everything, the solar radiation is quite intense. It actually goes up to almost like 30.
30 is still like our average.
Dry 30.
But dry lah.
So you don't really sweat so much unless you're doing a lot of hardcore chogging off-road. The moment the sundown, right, 6.
Oh, such drastic.
And that's in Leh city itself. City is a bit warmer because of greenhouse effect or whatever. If you're out there in the wilderness, less than that.
Wow.
So you must be... That was the real challenge for me, which was you can have snowing. You can have snow, you can have sleet, you can have hail, you can have rain. You will have dry, dusty, gravel, tarmac, landslides, river crossings. It's everything all in one.
Wow.
Plus animal.
Then you have another animal thrown into the mix of the usual cow and buffalo and dog and cat, which is yaks. So now you got yaks to deal with.
What is yaks?
A yak is like a hairy cow.
Hairy cow.
Yeah, it's like a furry cow.
Okay, just furry cow can already.
Yeah, a furry cow. That's a yak. And yak cheese is a specialty up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many days was your trip?
My trip was in total, I spent 12 days up there.
So up and back, to and back.
Delhi, up through Manali, Leh Manali Highway. Then I went to Kardungla, came back. Then I went to Pangong Lake. Pangong Lake, if you guys...
See the question mark on my face. I don't know where it's
have you watched 3 Idiots before?
No.
You watched 3 Idiots before? There we go. Yeah, staring in the face. No, you have not watched.
No.
So it features in that movie at the ending sequence. It's this beautiful high altitude Himalayan lake. Actually, most of that lake lies in China.
Oh,
One part of it lies in India. So it's actually on the India-Chinese border there. Very beautiful, blue waters, everything. Very, very beautiful scenic area.
What was the name of the lake again?
Pangong Lake.
How do you spell
Pangong
that?
Lake. We get Mark to get the picture.
Panggong.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
nice.
This
This is the lake.
really beautiful.
I seen somebody wrote there before.
Now I'm tour sick already.
Wow, very nice.
Yeah. Now that's it. It's just like these beautiful mountains coming out of this crystal blue, turquoise water. It's a sight to behold, lah. They're not even so these pictures don't even really show the road going in. So when you go in, this is when you reach the beach. But the road going in it's like you're on this little single lane road, which is like crumbling into pieces, like tarmac, which is crumbling into pieces. And you look down the left and it just goes down and then it just becomes blue water.
Wow.
And you're literally hugging this little road all the way along. And then finally you turn one corner and boom, the whole lake just like you're in a little body of water and then suddenly the whole lake opens in front of you. Yeah. And it's really interesting, the landscape there. So you usually want to travel in the morning when you're in Ladakh, simply because all the river crossings are usually not because of rain. It's because of glacial meltwater.
Oh, and the water level rise.
No, so the glaciers will melt during the day. So as the day goes on, your small river crossing in the morning becomes a big river in the afternoon or evening. Then again at night it freezes up.
Wow.
So it starts to become a small trickle again. Then again the next day sun comes up, starts to melt. Again the meltwater becomes big. Like the meltwater stream becomes a flood again. Yeah. And sometimes when they flood, you cannot cross. So you have to time it. You have to time the big crossings. For example, I think anyone who's been up to Leh Ladakh will know the Zingzingba river crossing.
Okay, I got one question. Mark's question. Is camping there safe? You like that question, right?
So actually camping there is allowed. You can camp wherever you want.
Anywhere. No permit is needed.
No permit really required.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty doable.
The next question is how safe is it?
Honestly, it's quite safe just because it's so sparse.
Oh, really? Yeah.
There.
I mean, the security, along the way,
It's quite
very safe.
Yeah, it's quite okay. This is talking about Ladakh, not India in general.
In general.
Yeah. The worst experience was, I tell myself that I'm like, this bike is so fast, so powerful, so smooth, 800cc, So there's a very famous and popular car in India called the Maruti 800.
It's an 800cc
It's a
car.
3-cylinder 800cc car.
Oh.
So I remember one day I was touring and it was empty highway and I was like, wow, this bike is so nice, so smooth. Okay, I paid a pretty penny for it, but it just goes faster, than any of those small dinky cars. And I'll never forget this. Just as I thought, a Maruti 800 packed with like a whole village worth of people and all their belongings probably sped past me. And I was doing 120 and this thing sped past me, I don't know whether he souped it up or it's like turbocharged it or whatever, right? And it looked so sketchy. Like I swear I was gonna swerve off that mountain road at any point.
Wow.
But he just flew past me. And my ego took a dive lah. Ego really took a dive after.
You didn't chase him?
I tried, bro.
Huh? You tried and you cannot.
No,
catch him.
I could have gone faster lah, but I was I didn't want to go too close to him.
Egos aside.
Egos aside. Yeah.
Egos aside. Must. To err on the side of safety, I was really in between two of my bases in India. So I was between my office in Delhi and my kampong, which is in Gujarat in India. The distance in between is about 1,200 kilometers, and I was bang like 600 kilometers on the way between these two places. So I didn't want anything to go wrong lah. Yeah.
So based on that trip, right, on average one day, how much distance do you cover?
Okay, so really varies. In Ladakh, I didn't aim to cover more than 200 kilometers a day. Mountain road, 200 is about the maximum of what you can do lah. Then on the other hand, when I was doing a transit trip. I call it a transit trip if I'm just moving the bike between cities. I was going from Delhi to Bombay. So just to give you a sense of scale of the size of the country that is India, right? Delhi is kind of in the north of India. Bombay is kind of in the almost central part of India. Delhi to Bombay is 1,800 kilometers by road.
Okay.
Around the same as here to Bangkok.
Okay, you going right? Huh?
Okay, yeah. So I did Delhi, Bombay in 2 days. So I covered about...
Okay, we go Thailand. You go Thailand in 2 days also.
That's 900 kilometers.
Yeah, 1,900. He did it in 2 days, ma.
Yeah, that means each day 900.
You did that time also.
I 1 day.
Oh, 1 day, right? You did it.
No. Yeah, 1 day 900. Usually when we go Thailand, first day, if we ride all the way, it's 800 plus 900.
Yeah.
Then next day I say no, I don't want it. Yeah. 200-300 quick enough.
Actually true.
Shit.
In 2 days.
Yeah.
But it was all highway.
It's all highway, but of course not the standard or north-south highway. Yeah, so it's...
And you still have to pass through the farms.
Yeah, still that.
Oh.
So on day one of that was when I had that undertaking incident. Almost smashed into a bull incident.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That means you are really squeezing the time for that 2 days.
Yeah, I really only had 2 days because on day 3 was my flight back to Singapore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's say for us right now, if we first time go to India to tour, what route would you actually recommend us for first timer? Rather than, I mean, your route sounds very fun and challenging. We would want to do it, but let's say for other people who is doing it first time, what is the better, or is there a better option of route to go? What would you recommend?
Honestly, as a first...
Or do you think they should just fuck the rest and just go for this one that you mentioned?
I would say really one of the nicest trips would be to go to Leh Ladakh. I like to tell people it's not a tour already. That trip is like a pilgrimage. You know, it's like a pilgrimage. It's like you're going to some holy ground already.
But it's not easy, right? Is it all road or
it's
off-road?
It's called the Leh Manali Highway, right? I tell you, it's like it can be tarmac, it can be broken tarmac, it can be mud, it can be rocks, it can be gravel. It's like it can be water, landslide, anything in between. It does take a bit of skill, but honestly, you rent yourself a Himalayan or whatever, not expensive, maybe 20-30 bucks a day, depending on
So cheap.
20 Singapore dollars.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
Just like our Taiwan rates.
Himalayan?
Himalayan, right?
Oh.
He loved the bike, no? He loved the
Is
bike
it?
a lot.
I like.
Okay.
And we reviewed it.
Yeah,
I love
and
it.
if you rode it, you know, it's not a difficult bike to handle.
It's not.
It's a bit heavy, but it's okay lah. Then you just take it.
We love the exhaust sound.
Hey, let's plan it. Plan one trip.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
India. Serious?
Yeah.
Not bad. Can.
Yeah. I would be happy to be your tour guide.
Okay.
At the same time, you can also try to do it yourself. I don't feel it's that difficult. I see a lot of people, foreigners also just show up, get the bike and go. But definitely, I would not suggest the first timer to go up to India. I would suggest, at least some little bit of off-road experience would be good.
Yeah, I cannot go already.
No,
Can.
I noob what? Oh, sorry, I amateur.
amateur.
Can, Route 55 level 1. Done already.
Amateur lah.
Can go already.
I think if you can do Route 55 level 1, then I think it should be.
We will. I think quite interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basic.
I got an instructor going with us. 2 instructors some more.
We're gonna end the episode here. That's all we have for today. If you like this episode, please remember to like, subscribe, and share this to social media to all your friends. Also, check out our merchandise store because we have some really good quality stuff. Right? Thank you for your support, everyone. It's been awesome. Thank you, Haren.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Harry.
Awesome.
See you on the road.